program is rated GE. Content carried in here is suitable for general family viewing.
Hello lovely people, good afternoon and thank you so much for joining us this Saturday, the 3rd of July 2021. It's just, 8 days to the LFNU4 to be held in Meru County at the Muthara Primary School. And being the last episode before the big day, well, today we have a rich lineup all about mixed martial arts, getting different perspectives from different people who are involved in the sport of mixed martial arts. Well, it's bound to be an amazing day, so keep it right here for the next 2 hours as we not only inform you but also entertain you. The lineup today will see us talk to the one and only LFNE president, Mr. Stephen Omwenga. He is in the building and eager to tell us how the preparations for LFNE4 in Meru County are going, and if all the fighters are ready, the mood at camp. Also, he will be telling us all about our international partners. Well, we'll also hear from Jordan J. Adams. Jordan J. Adams is a top United Ultimate Fighting Championship commentator. He's also the director or the CEO of UFA. And we'll also be talking to 3 gentlemen, that is Kevin, Ian, and John Clark of Cage Gladiators. So it's bound to be amazing. 2 fighters will also be joining us. Also, the commentators for LFNE4 will be in the building. We need to find out what they expect and what the fans in Meru and the entire of this country and elsewhere in the world should expect this coming Saturday, next Saturday, that is the 10th of July 2021. My name is Florence Ndongo. I'll be your captain this afternoon. Well, keep talking to us on 0739 110544. That is our SMS and WhatsApp line. Also on Twitter, we are at KUTV_Kenya. I'm at Florendungu. Like our page, that is KUTV Kenya. We are streaming live the proceedings of this particular show this afternoon. So keep it right here. It's bound to be amazing. I know there's also a lot happening at Kasarani. Our team is already there. That is the team of Ian and Kevin. They're at Kasarani, the final day for the World Under-20 Athletics Championship trials. Athletes battling it out in the finals to ensure that they make it to the World Under-20 Athletics Championship. And remember, Kenyatta University is a top partner for this international event where all athletes will be residing here as the Athletics Village. We'll give you that and more in this particular show, so keep it right here. Keep your comments coming. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Share that live stream on KUTV Kenya Facebook page and let people know what is happening. Well, thank you again for joining us. Let's take this show on the road. Well, Peter Kimothe and Maureen Cherotich booked their slots for the World Under-20 Athletics Championships slated for August 17th to 22nd, 2021 at Kasarani Stadium yesterday. The finals for the 1500 meters, 3000 meters and 800 meters races are set for today. Speaking during the World Under-20 trials at Kasarani, Cabinet Secretary for Sports CS Ambassador Amina Mohammed lauded the level of preparedness shown, stressing that Kenya is ahead of schedule in the much-awaited global show. Take a look.
Look for him. We shall get him tomorrow.
World Under-20 trials entered day 2 with 10,000 meters walk race for both men and women, setting the pace for today's event in a hotly contested competition in a race to book individual tickets to carry Kenyan flag as World Under-20 Championship draws closer. In other finals held today, Peter Gedhome won 400 meters hurdles in men's finals. Others who book a slot to represent Kenya in the much-awaited global showpiece event include Maureen Cheruto in 5,000 women's final, clocking the best time of 15.44. On her part, Cabinet Secretary for Sports Ambassador Amina Mohamed stressing that Kenya is ready for World Under-20 Championship. Speaking during the World Under-20 Championship trials at Kasarani, CS Amina lauded the effort put in place to combat COVID-19 pandemic, promising to work together with relevant stakeholders to keep the virus at bay.
Kwa kweli tumefurahia sana matayarisho ambayo yamefanywa. Nyinyi wenyewe mmekuwa hapa kama shahidi kuona vile kila kitu inaendelea, na nafikiria kesho tukimaliza tutakuwa na indication ya wangapi wataendelea to represent kama nchi katika michezo za World Under-20.
World Under-20 trials will enter its last day tomorrow, with several finals set for tomorrow in a do-or-die event that will see Kenyan young athletes battle it out in 100 meters women finals. While Vincent Katera and Simon Kipkosgei will face off in 1500 meters finals, athletes will try to beat the set qualifying time of 1.50.8 minutes in 800 meters race. Zedi Chesire, who will represent Team Kenya in the high jump after tying on point with Jamila, Maureen Cheruto, who will carry Kenyan flag in 5,000 meters race, and Margaret Gatti, who booked herself a slot in the Under-20 Championship after winning a walk race, are among the athletes who have qualified to represent Kenya in the World Under-20 Championship, while the likes of Joy Akinyi, Vincent Keter, and Amos Serem will have to wait a little bit longer to know their fate. Auma Evans, KUTV.
Well, African Games high jump silver medalist Matthew Sawe officially qualified for the Tokyo Olympic Games after being ranked 24th in the world ranking at the close of qualifying deadline on June 29th by attaining Tokyo Olympic qualifying standards. Sawe, who will be competing at the Summer Games for the first time, will carry Kenyan flag in men's high jump in Tokyo as he prepared to battle it out for glory with the world best athletes of all time. Now, Gor Mahia head coach Carlos Van Pinto beat KCB tacticians Dekau Teno and FC Leopards coach Patrick Ausums to win a May Betking Premier League Coach of the Month award. Pinto guided Kogalu to 4 wins in a month of May, recording a 1-0 against Nairobi City Stars before thrashing Sofapaka 2-1. God kept a clean sheet in their 1-0 victory over Wazito FC and Vihiga United to move fourth in the Football Kenya Federation Premier League, 6 points shy of leaders Tusker. The Portuguese becomes the 5th coach to be fitted this season after Zico, Francis Kimanzi, Andrew Kasabungo and Stanley Okumbi, bagging home a cash prize of 50,000 Kenya shillings. While the FKF Betway Cup, pitting 2 of the most followed football clubs in the country, Gor Mahia and FC Leopards, will be held on Sunday at the Nyayo National Stadium. The match will be played behind closed doors as ban-on gatherings owing to the prevailing COVID-19 pandemic still stands. The two edged Bidco United and Equity respectively in the semi-final in order to book the final slot. The winner stands a chance to represent the country in the 2021-2022 CAF Confederations Cup, as well as win 2 million Kenya shillings cash prize. Now, American sprinter Carrie Richardson has allegedly tested positive for cannabis and is likely to miss a chance to challenge for the Olympic 100 meters title in Tokyo later this month. The positive test came at the U.S. Olympic trials last month, where Richardson established herself as a gold medal contender by winning the 100 meters in 10.86 seconds. A positive test during the trials would mean all of Richardson's results from the meet would be wiped out, voiding her victory in the 100 meters final. Well, the latest on Richardson is that she has been banned for a month. We'll take a look at what that means for her as an athlete. I think this is the classic case where mtu anaambiango wacha bangi, all right? Let's move on. English Premier League giants Manchester United confirmed the imminent arrival of England forward Jadon Sancho in a 73 million switch from Borussia Dortmund. The German giants had earlier revealed the transfer in an announcement on the stock exchange, but now United have also sent a tweet from the official account. In an article on their website, United said Manchester United is delighted to announce it has reached the agreement in principle with Borussia Dortmund for the transfer of Jadon Sancho. Sancho is currently among Gareth Southgate's 26-man England squad, but has only featured briefly off the bench against the Czech Republic with England through the quarter-final against Ukraine on Saturday night. Earlier on Thursday, Sancho's exit had been confirmed by Dortmund, who have been left furious by the low transfer fee and the player desire to leave. And those are the highlights this Saturday afternoon. Glad you have chosen us to inform you on what is happening. And as we told you, the last few episodes of KUTV on the Sport has been dedicated to LFNE4, mixed martial arts. We have been meeting our fighters and also asking you guys to choose and adapt a fighter. And today we'll be having the last batch of fighters gracing our set, just a week to the showdown in Meru County Mudara Primary School, where LFNE4 will be going down. Remember, KUTV will be coming to you live from Meru County. We will be live on location, showcasing 10 most scintillating bouts. Wow. And we just cannot wait for that day. KUTV is ready, and LFNE is also ready to ensure that this event goes on smoothly. And LFNE president will be joining me in the building. He's actually in the building and will be joining me on set in the course of this particular show. Well, as you've seen on our social media platform, we had that amazing interview with Jordan J. Adams. He is a top UFC commentator. He is also the CEO of UFA, United Fighting Alliance. And well, you get to hear all about mixed martial arts in the eye of Jordan. That interview was amazing, and it went something like this. Hello guys, glad you're still watching KUTV on the sport, and on this session I'll be talking to one and only Jordan J. Adams from the United Fight Alliance. We want to get to understand what UFA is all about. He has been commentating mixed martial arts for the longest time, and we want to get to understand what these competitions are all about, and if in the future Kenyan fighters, that is mixed martial arts fighters, will get a chance to participate in some of these great competitions. Mr. Jordan, thank you so much for allowing us to talk to you today. Kindly introduce yourself to our viewers and also tell us your involvement with the United Fight Alliance.
Yes, my name is Jordan J. Adams. I'm the founder of United Fight Alliance. We are a mixed martial arts, boxing, and martial arts syndication and distribution company. We distribute fights all over the world. We produce fights all over the world. And we then take the finished content and broadcast them on various television networks in different countries. So we're combat sports, primarily mixed martial arts, as that's the very popular style of fighting right now. But we do a lot of boxing, and we do a lot of Muay Thai, a fighting style out of Thailand and Southeast Asia. But primarily right now it's mixed martial arts.
Yourself, have you ever been a fighter?
No.
You're just into content.
Yeah, I just do the content side of things. I let the young Turks go in and handle their business. I do the commentating and the kind of the executive production of the actual event. So no, I used to be in martial arts, and I did compete, but not at the level that these guys do.
Nice. So you said, how long have you been in existence, and also in how many countries do you broadcast?
We started in 2003, so 18 years now. And we broadcast throughout the world. Here in America, we're on NBC Sports and various affiliates, CW, ABC. And then throughout the rest of the world, we work very closely with KOK, King of Kings, and MMA Bushido, Mr. Donatas Simulitis out of Lithuania. And he's got hundreds of TV networks that he broadcasts on. So we partner with him. He airs his shows with us on our networks here in the Americas, and we air our shows on his networks throughout Europe.
Nice. Yeah, you must be having fun, but just bring me up to speed. What has been your experience, especially commentating for UFC, which I believe is so big right now?
That's just been an amazing experience. My co-commentator is Kamaru Usman, who's from Nigeria, and he is the current UFC welterweight champion. He's my partner. He does the color commentating. I do the setup commentating. He's a fantastic human being. It's been very, very exciting, very, very fast growth. The world has really accepted MMA with open arms. And now, I know you're in Kenya. We have so many African, not just UFC fighters, but African champions. Francis Ngannou, I'm sure you know, is our heavyweight champion. Kamaru, who we just talked about. Israel Adesanya. And then those are champs. Those aren't just UFC fighters. They're the champions in their weight division. And a lot of other African fighters who are up and coming really quickly. So we're excited to come out to your beautiful country and see some of your fighters, watch some of your guys roll, see some of your guys hit the mitts, and do some scouting for some of our leagues here. Because a lot of the leagues that we do in United Fight Alliance are feeder. So we're like the NCAA. We'll carry the fights, and then their next stop will be the UFC or Bellator or PFL. So we love to come and scout. So that's why I'm excited to be working with Steven, because we can come and see some of his fights.
So let me ask you,
before we delve more deeper, there are a couple of our guys who are starting to commentate mixed martial arts. One or two tips. I know they're eager. On the 10th, we have a very interesting competition. Some of the tips for our new commentators for mixed martial arts.
I would say the number one tip would be to be yourself. So don't change just because there's a camera on. Don't change your personality. Be who you are, and don't be apologetic about that. Be very forthright with your commitments and your passions and your opinions, and put them out there and be prepared to defend them. And so that would be the number one tip, is to be yourself. And then the number two tip would be to be relaxed and have fun.
All right.
Because look at what you get to do. Look at what you get to do for a living. You get to talk about your favorite sport. If you can't have fun doing exactly what you love to do, so and then I guess number three is, and it's kind of in line with the relaxation. When you see that red light come on the camera, or when the director says it's on, that should, if anything, that should make you have even more passion and more energy and more excitement and more relaxation. So it's really enjoy.
Very important.
Yes.
Oh, well,
yes.
What would you say? How big would you say is mixed martial arts globally? And is there maybe a particular country that has the most fan base for the competition that is mixed martial arts?
I don't think there's any countries that it's not in at this point. And the countries that have the most fans, probably not incidentally, have the most fighters, and those would be, countries like Brazil, because Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is fundamental on the ground. There's no one in MMA who's going to become a champion who doesn't learn Jiu-Jitsu. You have to know Jiu-Jitsu. And American wrestling, so America is very, very, very big in America. It's very big in Asia, especially Japan. Japan loves martial arts.
Yeah.
You look at Pride, you look at Shogun, you look at Pancrase, you look at Valley Tudo, you look at just some of these shows with such heavy Japanese influence. They were early adopters. Russia and all of Eastern Europe, it's very, very big. Some of the biggest fighters. I'm very lucky. I get to do shows in Eastern Europe quite a bit. I get to do a lot of shows in Ukraine and Romania and Turkey. Just some of the funnest, Eastern European shows, and those fighters are monsters. So those are your big. Russia, Eastern Europe, it's big too. All throughout Central and South America, because of the Spanish. The Spanish have always had traditionally very good boxers, and now they're coming over to MMA where the money is. And now Africa is coming because of all of these rising stars from Africa who are coming in and dominating, not just qualifying for the UFC, but coming in and dominating their weight divisions. So Africa is exploding now. Although you can tell me more. Is it exploding in Kenya?
In Kenya, I think we're just starting. The talent has been there. It's just that people the fighters have not had a better platform to showcase their talent. So we've not been having a lot of competition. And if they're there, they're not as attractive and lucrative. But you see, now we are talking to people like you. We want it to be big, and we believe our fighters are going to be happy. But I'm glad to hear you comment about Africa. And very soon we'll be talking about East Africa and Kenya in particular. UFC is really big. Looking at what is now happening in Africa, what do you think we need to do to make it as big as UFC is? What are some of those things that perhaps you would advise us to pick and implement and make mixed martial arts big?
Well, this would be a very similar sharing as the earlier sharing of be yourself. So the things that are going to make Americans want to watch African combat sports, or make Europeans want to watch African combat sports, are the things that make you different. because we can watch our own stuff. Like if it's just, if you're going to make it just like us, well, we could already watch us. We already have that. We've been doing this for 20 years now. So what makes Americans interested, like I watched this combat sport, I'm not sure which country in Africa it was, but they're in the sand and they have just like belts around their waist. It's almost like sumo a little bit. And the right hand has like a cast on it, like a cast. And I think it might have been Nigeria, but I'm not sure exactly which country it was. But anyway, there's big guys and they're trying to push each other out of the box. So it's like sumo, but it's more violent than sumo. And that's super interesting. But anything you guys have in the combat space that's different, will be definitely love to watch and learn about.
So you have to be authentic, and we are good to go.
That's
All
the
right.
word.
Tell us, what is your engagement with LFNE? You have been engaging the LFNE president, Mr. Stephen Omwenga. So what is your engagement all about?
Yeah, so Stephen and I have been in discussions for quite a while now. And Stephen and I are going to have an exchange where I come to Kenya and watch one of his shows and probably commentate it, and then put it on some of my television networks here in America. And, we'll work closely with the different sponsoring and advertising constituencies in Kenya, like the tourism board and the government, maybe the airlines and hotels, and work closely with them to get their messaging on NBC Sports here in America. And which we're excited about. We're in about 130 million American homes, and Americans have travel, they have discretionary funds that they love to travel with. So we want to tell the story of Kenya and show how beautiful it is, and that you have to visit Kenya. It's so important. So that's on the front end of what Stephen Omwengo and I are doing. But the back end is just as exciting. And Stephen's going to bring some of his star students and star fighters who are prospects to the States to meet some of the bigger schools and some of the bigger promoters, and maybe even put a couple of his fighters on some of our events and let the UFC and Bellator and PFL see what they have. So like scout them as potentially prospects to make it into the big shows. And then, of course, if they're here, we'll have to take them to Disney World. And we'll have to take them you'll have to take them to the beaches and show off our state here in Florida.
They actually can't wait. I've hosted a couple of them on my show called On the Sport, and they're eager for a bigger stage. When they hear that they would have an opportunity to come to a place like Florida and also visit those fighting academies, they will be very excited. But what sort of competition should they expect, especially if they get an opportunity to participate in some of those competitions? What level of competition should Kenyan fighters expect?
Importance of being well-rounded in MMA cannot be understated, or cannot be overstated, I should say. Cannot be overstated, because if you're a good striker, your opponent most likely will know that, and your opponent will take you to the ground. And if you don't have Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and you don't have wrestling and catch wrestling and grappling background, you're going to be a fish out of water. You're not going to know what to do. Your opponent will quickly submit you. Your opponent will either make you tap out or you're going to go to sleep. So it's not going to be a fun trip for the African fighters if they don't develop their ground game. The ground game has been very, very heavily developed in America. The Brazilians have been here for 30 or 40 years teaching the Americans Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. So everybody in America is on the ground skilled. So my understanding is that the Kenyans have great boxing and great striking, and now they're just starting to get the ground game. They're going to have to really get that up to speed in order to compete in America or in Europe. So that would be my biggest point of advice, is to really work the ground game.
Well, hopefully they get to watch this and put their best foot forward. Well, you had an event last month, I think on the 17th in Turkey. Bring us up to speed. What was the event all about and the magnitude of it?
Yes, well, that was in Antalya, which is on the coast of Turkey, southern Turkey. Beautiful coastal town. It's all tourism, beautiful hotels, very, very safe, very friendly. And I did it at a hotel called Nirvana Cosmopolitan, which is a 5-star hotel. They were one of our sponsors. They had a water park. It was on the ocean. They had a beautiful spa. They had 24/7 gourmet food. You can go in anytime to eat 24 hours a day, gourmet food. And that's where we did the fight. They had a beautiful park where we set up the cage. And we had fighters from Angola. We had fighters from Zimbabwe. We had fighters from, of course, Turkey, Iraq, Afghanistan, Iran, Turkmenistan, Georgia, Russia. I know I'm leaving some countries out, but it was like the United Nations. We had every country fighting on the card. It was wonderful. So really high level fights. The same thing I'm doing with Steven. I'm doing with the Turkish promoter, Bayram Yalcin. Bayram has some Turkish fighters who are ready for the big show. And so he's going to be bringing some of his top-notch fighters here to America to be seen by the top scouts in the sport. And so, yeah, I really recommend to your viewers, if they haven't been to Turkey yet, it's a pretty short flight from Kenya. Yeah. And it's beautiful country.
So let me ask you, you have another event in August, still in the same place. And I hear Kenyan fighters are invited as well.
Is in another town. I want to say Istanbul, but it might be Cyprus. I can't remember. But yeah, that's another Turkish fight. And that's going to be, I think it's in the Turkish part of Cyprus, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, Steven and I want to bring a couple of his top fighters to that show to fight perhaps some Turkish fighters. Usually it's Turkey versus another country, like that card we just did in Antalya. We had probably 8 or 9 Turkish fighters, and then only one fighter from each different country to face a Turkish fighter, because it's a Turkish show. So you put mostly people from Turkey on the card.
All right.
We want people to come to the event. So you have to have it. They need to care about it. So there should be a Turkish fighter in every fight. Mm-hmm. So the Turkish audience comes to the event.
All right. For one to participate, I'm talking about all the fighters. What are the requirements?
Well, if people are watching this and they want to get involved in MMA, they should reach out to Steven Omwenga, and that is LFNE. The LFNE is his organization in Kenya. Yeah. So if it's someone from Kenya who wants to join the company's local Fight Night Entertainment, and Mr. Steven Omwenga is on, I think you can catch him on LinkedIn and Facebook and Instagram. He's got very good social media. So I know he's always looking for good fighters.
Yes.
Yeah. So maybe they should reach out to him, and that could be the first step in a great career.
Mm-hmm. Before we call it a day, I would want to know, you have covered a lot of MMA fighters and for a very long time. So you've also covered their training regime, their attitude. So what would you sum up? What would you say makes up a very good MMA fight?
There's a certain determination that they will not take no for an answer, that they will not be defeated. And even if they are, quote unquote, beat in a particular fight, they use that as a learning experience because they never take their eyes off the goal. So they know where they're going, and no one's going to stop them from getting there. And when there is a loss, it's just a setback, temporary setback. and it's a learning experience. So it's all a positive experience. Everything is going toward getting them toward that goal. The passion has to be there, though, because if you're not passionate, the first time you get punched in the face, like Mike Tyson had a funny saying, he said, everybody has a game plan until they get punched in the face.
Yeah.
Everybody has a plan. If you don't have a game plan, and if you're not passionate about what you're doing, as first time you get in a little bit of trouble, you're on your back and your opponent is punching you, you're just going to quit. So you have to have a passion for the sport and a determination and a commitment. And the big question is always, are great fighters born or are they developed? And, nature versus nurture. And I would have to say that it's probably a combination of both. You probably are born with, a certain passion and a certain grit and determination and toughness. And then it's also developed. It takes probably both. You can do it with one without the other, but it's more difficult. It's more difficult if you don't have that talent and grit to make it just on determination. And conversely, it's hard to make it just on grit without the determination, without the strategy, and without the development skill set. You need to learn skill set. So yeah, it's great if you have some natural talent, but you do have to go to school. And so it's a combination of both, but I would say the two biggest ones are passion and determination.
Quite impressive. I know you've always been, in the front seats, let me call it like that, watching the action blow by blow. Do you have what would you say is one of your most memorable fights that has stuck in your memory up to now, that was so exciting for you?
There was a gentleman he still lives in Miami. His name is Dada 5000. They did a movie about his life. Called Dogfight. It's on Netflix. It won all kinds of awards. It was #1 on Netflix. I was very fortunate and blessed to commentate a fight he did. Actually, the fight was on Fight Dog. He got very famous in America for doing backyard fights. The name of the company was Backyard Brawl. He lives in a very poor section of Miami, and it was very dangerous, but he was helping kids kind of get out of the ghetto and get out of bad situations through athletics. And he did a fight with a guy named Cedric James, who was another monster. They're both big, big, big heavyweights. They called Cedric James the Gorilla. Well, anyway, Cedric James was on top of Dada, pounding him out, and Dada would have had to have tapped out or he would have got knocked out. And the referee just kind of randomly stopped the action and stood him up. They stood back up, and Dada 5000 was able to knock out Cedric James. And it was big and it was controversial. It was on this big movie. And my co-commentator, Dean Thomas, who's very famous here in the States, he's on a TV show here in the UFC called Looking for a Fight, and with Dana White. Anyway, Dean was my partner in that show, and Dean was a UFC fighter as well. And we were just screaming, like, why did he stand him up? Cedric James would have won that fight. So that was kind of an exciting, passionate, controversial, very famous fight here in the States. And I was lucky to commentate it. And so that one just, and then there's a lot of ones where, someone had someone die recently in their family, and they dedicate the fight to them. And they will fight someone that they're supposed to lose to, and somehow they win. And it's that classic underdog story. They're fighting for their mother or fighting for their father. Those types of fights too, you can get emotional, and it's very, very powerful.
Mm-hmm. Well, maybe someday I'll sit next to you in the future when you commentate and just see how you do your job. That would be my joy. Hopefully it happens.
Well, maybe can you come to the fight that Stephen and I do in Kenya?
Of course, we actually are partners, and we will be showing it live. So I will be hosting the show.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah,
so I get to watch you work.
Yeah.
I would get to watch you work.
Yeah. Me too. I'll get to watch you work, and that will be amazing.
Oh, I'll have to interview you and put you on American television here.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I can't wait.
And if we can make that American trip happen, maybe you can manage one of the fighters so you can come too.
Why are you thinking like me? We are on the same. We're thinking the same path, and that's amazing.
Disney World is waiting for you.
All right, thank you so much. I'll be coming there very soon. So, what would be your last words?
Thank you to the beautiful people of Africa. Thank you for hosting us. Thank you for your gracious hospitality, and I'm very thrilled to come. I've been close to coming a couple times, but I've never been able to come. So I have not seen anything. I cannot wait to see your beautiful country. And so it's a gratitude and what's the word I'm looking for? Anticipation, excited anticipation to see your beautiful country.
Yes. Have you ever heard of something called nyama choma? When you come to Kenya, that is one thing you must eat, and I'll make sure it happens. So welcome to Kenya.
I will eat that for sure. Just on your recommendations. That sounds yummy.
All right.
Nyama choma.
Thank you so much for your time. It has been amazing talking to you and getting those insights, and hopefully we get to work together very soon.
Thank you so much. You did a really good job, and I can't wait to meet you and see your beautiful country.
Thank you.
Well, guys, it has been amazing talking to Mr. Jordan all the way from Miami, Florida, and getting to understand what the United Fight Alliance is all about. He has been going around commentating, and hopefully things will be better locally so that we can have our fighters travel to other countries and get to participate in those competitions. But my takeaway is that for African mixed martial arts to be big, we need to be authentic. Thank you for watching, and see you around. What an interesting interview there with Jordan of UFA. And wow, this is one of our biggest interviews yet. Next weekend we'll be in Meru, and after that we continue with a series of big interviews from people and stakeholders in the mixed martial arts. And thanks to LFNE President, Mr. Stephen Mwenga, who is making all things happen. It has been amazing, or it was actually amazing talking to Jordan J. Adams, a very top-notch commentator in the Ultimate Fighting Championship. I know a lot of you guys have heard his voice or even seen him do his thing, and he actually commentates with one of also the best fighters, that is Usman, and he is on the lineup. He will be talking to KUTV on the sport via Zoom very soon. And well, we have lined up, thanks to the help of Mr. Jordan, a couple of interviews that will be airing right here on KUTV on the sport. Well, I hope you enjoyed that interview, but keep it right here. I also had a very interesting interaction with Cage Gladiators all the way from Ireland, and they will be joining us this afternoon, or via an interview that we did. And I can see a lot of guys talking to us on our live stream. Thank you so much. There is a fighter saying, Ben, thank you for watching all the way from United Kingdom, and you're saying you're ready to come and fight in Kenya. I believe Mr. Mwenga is happy to hear about that, and we'll be getting in touch with you. And karibu sana to Kenya as well. It's going to be amazing to see you fight here in the country. We are taking a very short break. When we come back, we have more. I'll be joined by two fighters on set, just to figure out how they have prepared for the 10th of July 2021, as all roads will be leading to Meru County for LFNE 4. Keep it right here. You are watching KUTV on the sport.
WHO mandated that people use face masks in the same setting, and this is a problem for people living with hearing impediment because they rely on facial expressions and lip reading to better understand what is being communicated.
A sign language interpreter plays a crucial role in the life of a deaf person. We are developing a system to a point whereby it's going to incorporate all other persons with disability into the system.
And the good news is an interpreter can serve more deaf people without moving out of the house.
the sky, get ready for the anthem.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Watch me. Level up, level up, level up, level up, level up.
Hold up.
My turn.
Who got the power?
Cause girls like you go around with guys like me to sundown.
Boot up, boot up. Beat it up like piñata.
They don't know what they're even looking for.
Dimash.
They don't know what they're even looking for. And I'm not ashamed, oh, oh. I'm not ashamed, oh, 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 oh. I'm not ashamed, oh, no. I'm not ashamed, oh, 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 oh.
Niaje wasee, hii ni Church O'Clock Show mazina. Hapa kuna kitu inaitwa Gospel Art Segment. Hii ni segment yenye mazee tunapatana na wasee wanafanya art zao, wasanii, photographers, producers, DJs. Kama wewe ni dancer, we bring you here mazee, we show the world what you're doing and how you're using your art to reach the hearts out there.
Worship the Lord with gladness and come before him with joyful songs. That's exactly what we do right here on the Church O'Clock Show. Becky Esther here with my co-host Twinnie Esther Becky. We are not ashamed of the gospel of Jesus Christ, proclaiming him and making him known through Bible expositions, topical discussions, and of course your life questions answered right here on the Church O'Clock Show Word segment.
Yes, na tuko ndani ya Church O'Clock Show every Sunday, 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. only on KUTV.
The Juakari operators and others, our saloonists, our mamboga, our barbers, our economy to a large extent depends on you. We cannot allow Kenyans to die because of non-distancing in any sector. So those of you who are carrying out the hair-cutting business, in barbershops, in saloons, I am appealing to you today. Ensure that social distancing, fumigation of your working places, masks are used at all times. Just assume that everybody is positive and now deal with that situation. Participation of our citizens in the fight against the disease would be our key success factor.
Unemployment has hit you hard. Your salary is meager. You decide to venture into business, but you're struggling to thrive in it. You would want to reap a big tip on how not to run into losses.
Forget the preachy business vlogs, the hyperbolic motivational speeches, and all the roads down desperation.
Well, glad you're still watching KUTV on the spot this Saturday afternoon. It's an amazing day. Remember, next Saturday we will be live on location in Meru County. This is the first time we are hosting or broadcasting an event outside the Nairobi County. And all roads, we will be traversing 6 counties just to bring to you live mixed martial arts. That is the LFNE4. 10 amazing bouts are on the cards, and we cannot wait to see our fighters, local fighters, showcase their talent and just show us what they're all about. And well, I had an interview with Jordan, as you just saw, and these fighters, just hearing that they would have an opportunity to travel and showcase their talent elsewhere, that is a morale booster for them, and they cannot wait to show just what they are made of. So keep talking to us on 0739 110544 is our SMS line. Remember, we are streaming live the proceedings of this particular show on our live on our Facebook page, that is KUTV Kenya. On Twitter, we are KUTV_Kenya. I'm at Florendungu. Let us engage. Ask us any kind of question, and I know that our guests today, who will include our commentators for LFNE4, they will be joining us in a few, and also LFNE President Stephen Omwenga will be in the building to just tell us how firm, if they have firmed up preparation for LFNE4 in Meru County. Right about now, I want to introduce 2 amazing fighters who have joined me on set. I'm talking about Stephen and Michael, but let them introduce themselves, starting with you, sir. Good afternoon and welcome to the program.
Thank you, madam. I'm Michael Omondi, an LFNE fighter.
Good to see you, and karibu sana to KUTV. I believe this is the first time we are meeting, and also the first time that you're here.
Yeah, it's the first time we are meeting, and it's the first time I'm here. I'm also grateful for that.
All right. Tell us just a bit of your background with mixed martial arts. Which sporting disciplines, mixed martial arts disciplines, have you been participating in?
I've participated in Taekwondo for quite a number of time, from primary school to secondary school. Till that, when I at that age of 20 now, I start now moving out of town. Now I moved to Nairobi now. And that when I now started doing Kempo Karate. And when we started this LFNE, now I start doing like Thai boxing now.
So that's a lot of experience since primary school.
Yeah, it's a lot of experience.
All right. We'll get to figure out how prepared Michael Omondi is. But let me give Stephen an opportunity to introduce himself. Good afternoon and karibu sana.
Asante sana. Mimi naitwa Steve Boyka.
Just have your mic.
Okay, thank you. Mimi naitwa Steve Boyka. Nimefurahi kuwa na wewe hapa saizi. Mimi nimejipanga kutosha, nimekuwa nikitrain hard sana nikingoja hii siku, and nimekuwa nikitrain taekwondo huko nyuma, nimefanya Kempo Karate, and then saizi nafanya Thai boxing. So saizi nataka kufanya mixed martial art. So tunangoja sana hii siku.
You're waiting.
Yeah.
So umesema you've been in which disciplines before?
Taekwondo nimefanya, and Kempo Karate, and now I'm doing Thai boxing. Yes.
You guys are almost participating in the same mixed martial disciplines. How ready are you for the 10th? Do you guys actually know each other? Mshai pigana ama?
No, it's my first time to see him. Ni mara yangu ya kwanza. Sijai muona. Yeah.
All right.
Yes.
Well, these two...
So nitamuona mzuri sana tena.
Yes.
The next day I think unajua hiyo siku naongelelea.
Yes.
Yeah.
Utamuona in 3D vizuri sana hiyo siku.
Yeah, hiyo siku.
Well, it's quite amazing. These 2 amazing gentlemen will be in the cage, and they will be taking on each other. And well, I'm talking about Stephen Otieno Sewe and Michael Omondi, lightweight category. Hapo ndio watakuwa wanamenyana kidogo. And I know today we have international viewership. If you do not understand anything that we are talking about, I'll try my level best to just bring you up to speed. But basically, Otieno is saying he's very ready. He has been in the industry for some time, and he cannot wait to take on his opponent on that particular day. So, Mr. Michael.
Yes, ma'am.
You've said that you've been in the competition for some time, but how has been the journey? Because we understand that we've had a lot of fighters. We also still have a lot of fighters, but the platforms have not been there where you guys can showcase your talent. How has the journey been?
The journey has not been that easy. Since you know, from home, what's about normally happens that when you train things like taekwondo, they associate you with some thieves or whatever. So it was not easy during those days.
Yes.
So you have to sneak and go and train until you get at that age of 18. Now you can do what you want.
Yes.
But you still under control of somebody, so you know you still have to do it. But it was not that easy. Because of that age, you also have to look for your upkeep.
Yes.
Yeah, you know how things normally works. But if you decide you want to train, you have to train. So you create your time throughout, anytime, even at night, in the morning. Anytime you think you are okay, even if you are at school, you can hide somewhere, you train. So what you learn from the other day, you train it when you are alone. So it's always keep you busy, and it always keep you mentally strong.
But there are so many sporting disciplines. Why mixed martial arts? Why did you choose mixed martial arts?
Okay, I choose mixed martial arts because I started taekwondo. Then I came to Nairobi, I do Kempo karate. Then when I now see that I've been doing this for that quite number of times. And I remember what I told myself when I was in class 4, that I one day want to be a world champ. So I remember because because of the difficulty that we go through the lives, that's why it takes me that long. But when I remember it and I saw they brought this thing, there's a LFNE. I think that I have to prove myself what I've been learning, or if I'm been doing good thing or I've been doing wrong thing. So I wanted to create that time so that I can show the world that I know something about it. Yeah.
So mbona mixed martial arts yet kuna other sporting discipline, kuna ball, mbona mixed martial?
Unajua hii mixed martial arts na feel ndo kitu yangu, yani juu hata kitambo tukifanya hiyo taekwondo haikuwa ananipeleka mahali. Kenpo pia tumefanya lakini hii age zama nimefika, so na feel this is the real thing now. Yeah, naipenda. Yes.
So unasema hapo before you ulikuwa una participate but hakuna fruit.
Yes, hakuna fruit.
So what is the difference right now with the incoming of LFNE?
Saizi hata naona management at least ana take care of us, wanauliza Boyka una train nini kwa kuja huko, ana provide kitu like transport, ana provide, so najua hapa kuna kitu. So hata mimi najaribu kufanya hadi uwezo wangu nifanye vizuri sana. Yes.
Ile time you're not fighting, what do you do other than?
Mimi hufanya personal training, and mimi ni businessman at the same time. So hizo ndio vitu mufanya apart from fighting. Yes.
Tell us about this thing on your forehead, red in color.
In signature. Yes. In signature airband. Yes.
So what
ina kazi, ina kazi hizi. Unajua ile time uko kwa ring ama uko zoezi, hatuna time ya kupanguza jasho. So hii ina absorb that jasho, then inateremsha pale kwa mgongo. So si kitu tia madoido, iko na kazi hapo. Yes, sina time ya kupanguza jasho.
Unataka tu
concentrate tu hapo one on one. Yes.
No time to wipe your
no time. Hatuna your time.
All right.
Yes.
Quite impressive. Remember, you're watching KUTV on the sport, and on set I have two fighters who will be taking to the cage on the 10th of July 2021 in Meru County. And well, Mr. Sarah is saying that with the arrival of LFNE, the management is a bit better. At least they care about our fighters. And well, I want to believe I actually want to agree with him, because you've seen the type of partnerships that Mr. Omwenga is bringing on board. Najua umeona hiyo interview. I don't know if you were around when that interview ran. Mkiona partnerships ka hizi, how does that make you feel as fighters? Do you see there is light at the end of the tunnel?
Yeah, tuna feel there's light. Yeah. Tunaona vizuri.
Who is your role model?
Boyka. Yes. I just loved him. Napenda move zake. Kwanza yeye ndo alimotivate ninge martial art. But this sija train for long, but bidii yangu imeweka fitness yangu kwa level lingine. Sija train that much, but bidii tu imeweka kwa fitness yangu kwa level lingine. So kwanza zoezi hizo za history huko nyuma hizo ni history, but mimi kuna kitu naamini sana, bidii. Unaweza anza zoezi huko years back, but akili yako inaweza danganya uko fit, but mwili inaweza kataa. So mimi niko sure bidii yangu imeniweka fitness yangu kwa level lingine. So hiyo kitu naamini sana. Yes.
Oh, well, quite impressive. Tell us your training regime. I know right now, I don't say you guys are in a bubble. You're not in a bubble training camp, but at least knowing that there's an event coming in a couple of days, mko mkijiprepare how? Like what sort of trainings are you guys engaged in?
First, I would like to appreciate our president, Stephen Mwenga, for he has provided us with a gym that we have been training throughout that period. And we have been training for 2 hours. But despite that, I also train my personal training. I have my personal coach. That after that, I will go and do another training somewhere else. So that has been keeping me more stronger and more focused in everything I'm doing. So, but I'm ready for everything. Yeah.
You're ready. What sort of competition do you expect from your opponent right here?
Nothing. If I say him, nothing. Because first thing I learned from him that he said that he did not get anything from Taekwondo and he did not get anything from Kempo, and he's only training mixed martial art for like 2 months, 3 months. I don't think there's not something, that can challenge me.
What do you think about your opponent's assertion? What are you bringing? Are you going to bring your A game? I expect nini kutoka kwako?
So unajua amesema ametrain Taekwondo hizo makarate zote, but hizo kwa long time ago, but saizi mimi ndo ndakuwa champ. Unajua champ huwezi kuwa na mdomo, so action talks louder than word. So kwa ile siku najua tutashare more contacts, tutaniuliza wewe train wapi na nini unafanya, mbona uko this fit, niko sure saizi najua bado watachujuane tu na mdomo, lakini ikifika huko after those 3 rounds tunauliza who is your trainer. I think so, mark my word. Yes.
Well, I can see a lot of guys talking to us on our live stream. I'll be reading your comments in a couple of time, but I want to give these 2 gentlemen an opportunity to talk to their fans. And if you would like to adapt any of these fighters, all you have to do is actually adapt a fighter by sending any amount to 4042269. That is 45 rather, 4045269, and the account name is the fighter you are supporting. So if you are supporting Steve Otieno Sewe, send any amount to 4045269, and the account name you just write Sewe, and we'll know that that is the person you're actually supporting. And if you want to adapt or support Michael Omondi, all you have to do is send any amount to 4045269, and the account name is going to be Michael Omondi. This will enable our fighters get proper training. What Mr. Omwenga is doing to ensure that they have proper training, proper preparation ahead of LFNE4 in Meru County. Talk to us on 0739 110544. That is our SMS and WhatsApp line. Also, pale Twitter, we are at KUTV_Kenya, Matt Florendingu. On Facebook, we are at KUTV Kenya, and we are streaming live the proceedings of this particular show. So share that link with a friend, tell a friend to tell a friend that KUTV on the spot this Saturday afternoon is motto. All right. For those who want to know what motto means, it means KUTV on the spot this afternoon is a fire. All right. So what would you like to tell your fans before we call it an afternoon for you guys? Una promise nini?
I promise a win and a very fun and a very enjoyable time, and a very motivated time, and a very nice time for them.
You know, when you say that fans want a fight that is a bit longer, mnaona mkienda round ngapi?
I don't want it to be long because I don't want to waste my time with somebody who did not learn anything from Taekwondo for many years. I learned nothing from Kempo for many years.
Yes.
And he only doing mixed martial art for 2 months and is now saying he's fit. I don't think I should take much time with them.
Okay.
Yeah.
What would you like to tell your fans?
Thank you. Hii time nimengoja sana uniulize. Mafans wangu bro, so unajuanga tuna save time, hatukaingi sana. So kitu ya kwanza to promote Steve Boyka hapo. Make sure umetuma hiyo text venye madam amesema. And so unajua venye tunafanyaga. So tuna save time. So bro, ngoja in the first round referee atajua result na so bro, ukijua akili yako inaweza danganya uko fit, lakini mwili inaweza kataa kufanya kitu akili inazani inaweza fanya. So kabla uongee useme uko that fit, mi sijasema I'm that fit but I'm good. So sijakuja tu hapa kuongea watu wanione. I'm a fighter na najua kitu imenileta hapa. So tunangoja sana hiyo siku. Nafahamu sitawaangusha.
Okay. That is Stephen Otieno Sewe, who will be taking Michael Omondi. Omondi is saying that, well, I have learned a lot and I'm going to put that into practice. And Sewe is saying, well, round ya kwanza na wanafunga virago. Well, I don't know who you will be supporting. We have 10 bouts on the card. It's going to be an afternoon like no other. 10 amazing fights on the card, and Elephanie is doing a good job because as a lady, I love the fact that we'll also be having women taking on each other, and it's going to be amazing. Remember to adapt a fighter by sending any amount to 4045269, 4045269, and also remember the account name is the fighter you are adapting. Well, guys, I had another opportunity to talk to Cage Gladiators, and I talked to 3 gentlemen. That is Kevin Boyd, Ian Dixon, and John Clark. All these are directors for Cage Gladiators, and well, they had amazing insight. Also, another amazing partnership between LFNE. Mr. Stephen Omwenga has been doing an amazing job. Let's just listen in to how this interview went down. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Glad you're still watching KUTV on the sport this Saturday afternoon. Well, it's an amazing time, and right about now, I want to engage 3 gentlemen all the way from the country of Ireland. I'm talking about Ian Dixon, who is the CEO at Cage Gladiators. Also, John Clark, who is the director at International Fighting Championship and also a director at Cage Gladiators. Also joining us this afternoon is Kevin Boyd. He is the Logistic Global Director at Cage Gladiators. We want to know their involvement with Cage Gladiators Kenya, and also how our fighters in mixed martial arts will benefit by just, well, having this connection from these guys from Ireland. Hope you enjoy and get to learn more about MMA this afternoon. Gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us today.
Kindly, Mr. Ian Dixon, if you may introduce your team for us.
I'm Ian Dixon, the CEO of Cage Gladiators Ireland and worldwide. We also have with us today is John Clark. He's the CEO of International Fighting Championships, IFC. We also have with us today is Kevin Boyd. He's our logistics director. He has another half, which is Wayne Crawford, a director of logistics, but not here with us today. And we don't have Lawrence Canavan of the Philippines, obviously the time difference. And Derek Davis, Way of Clothing of USA. He's our manufacturer and our director of Way of USA. That's everybody on our side of life here.
Well, quite impressive. And again, thank you very much. But before I engage the other directors, I would want to know why passion in mixed martial arts. Have you guys maybe previously been maybe fighters, or what has been your involvement on individual levels?
Well, speaking for myself, I've been in the fighting game all my life. It's been like natural to me most of my life since I was 8 years of age. My father put me into the boxing club, and I got the bite of it, and basically that was it from there onwards. I then progressed most of my life from boxing to mixed martial arts to all sorts of self-defense, right across the board. Went into bare knuckle boxing and all sorts of things. The passion has been there from the day basically I entered the gym.
All right. Mr. Clark, John Clark also, thank you so much for joining us. Where did the passion for MMA for you in particular come from?
Well, my involvement with the MMA and these guys is sort of on a different scale because I come from a charity background, a corporate background. I met Ian a few years back when he came to Ireland with a proposal for Cage Gladiators Philippines to re-establish themselves in Ireland as well. So that's where my connection with the MMA world started. Here was through the charity element. And my passion for it now has grown very, very big. because of the passion in these guys that I see with these guys here and the fighters around the world. I'm getting really very involved in the fighting element. I'm caught up very much in the emotion of it now. So as a fighter, no, I was not a fighter. I come from I practiced martial arts as a kid, as a child, but not in my adult life. So my involvement here is strictly professional on a charity level and so no fighting.
Yeah. Well, Kevin Boyd, how about you? Your passion, why did it all start?
Passion to the MMA side of things was introduced by Ian Dixon and Lawrence. As John stated, his side of it hasn't been into the fighting side. John's more so of the organisation running how things got up on as far as we are now. But with the fight, my part of this here, Cage Gladiators, mine is mostly logistics.
Just tell us, I want to ask Mr. Clark, in how many countries is Cage Gladiators in currently?
I could say 100% that we are in 20 plus countries at the moment. That number raises every day as people come in contact with us. But at the moment, we are registering in 20 countries at the moment.
Well, we know there has been a pandemic that has been terrorizing everyone, and sports has not been spared. So how has your work as Cage Gladiators and also MMA been affected?
It has only affected us a small bit from the start. When we first came into contact with Cage Gladiators Philippines, we had originally decided to promote an event in Ireland. So we were working away to organise an event for 2019 in Ireland for St. Patrick's Day. Just 4 weeks before the event, they pulled the plug on it. So it did affect us quite a bit at the start. But during that time, we have used it quite well, have set back, because we have this is all sort of brand new. We have an ability now to be able to sit back and organise and construct and finish off tying up the loose ends of what we've been doing with the Cage Gladiators and reaching out to the world, And at the minute here, mixed martial arts around the world is like any sports, like any music events, is all like that. Everybody's on a bit of a downer, and I think here it hasn't effectively affected us specifically, apart from 2018. It's actually given us a bit of space to organise and create, finish off what we wanted to do. And maybe I think here the boys have enjoyed a bit of a breathing space there, because it's quite a hectic life to be living there with the MMA world, especially in the events and production end of things. It's very, very big. So it hasn't affected us. It has slowed us down slightly, but it hasn't affected us financially just yet. But it has knocked a lot of people back here in other MMA productions.
Mr. Kevin, I know you have some ties here in Kenya. So tell us, Mr. Kevin, how did Cage Gladiators come about?
My wife is Kenyan from Limuru. I'm Wambui Babu, which you have to get her name out there or else she'll be punishing me. Through herself and Stephen, the connection of LMNE, they got together, got us introduced, and then we put it forward to my colleagues there, John and Ian, and from there on it was just upwards and onwards.
Mm-hmm. So I just want to know deeper when it comes to being a logistic global director. What does that entail for you?
To be in contact with all the countries in question, as John's mentioned earlier, to organise any event that's upcoming, and also to involve our merchandiser, which is we have brand enterprise in the USA, which is Derek Davies, and just to coordinate all the equipment and uniforms and stuff to move around the world.
Mr. Ian, if I can bring you on board, I just want to know, what do you think about MMA, especially in the continent of Africa?
MMA is becoming more broadstream. It's out there. It's become more popular than most sports. The simple reason people just love it. you know, once it gets underneath your skin, it is the game, it is the sport, and people, it speaks for itself. It's one of these sports where it becomes part of your life, and people are grabbing it. People want to fight. People want events. People want to do this globally. People are texting me, phoning me night and day, asking me how's things going, and so on and so forth. So people are really grabbing it with, you know, open hearts, and they're really putting their souls into what they actually do. And I mean, most of the fighters that I know personally, which is quite a lot, are on to me all the time, and they're fighting all the time, they're training all the time. Through lockdown, they're looking forward to the next event, they're looking forward to this, they're looking forward to that. It's just brilliant. There's nothing like it. There's nothing like it at all.
Mm-hmm.
It's just part of life. It's brilliant.
You know, here in Africa, a lot of MMA fighters are yearning for a bigger stage. They want to be in those bigger stages and fight. So how maybe, let me say, Kenyan fighters going to benefit by just being part or by engaging with cage gladiators? How are they going to benefit?
Well, what I will say is, as far as Kenya's concerned, we're going to put the fighters onto the global stage, the world stage. Everybody's going to see what sort of fighters they are, what sort of people they are, which is from ground roots up. Brilliant fighters, excellent fighters, and they've got the go, they've got the heart, they've got the soul to put a good event on and move up in their careers as MMA fighters. You know, that world stage is there, and we can help promote that.
Mm-hmm. Well, quite impressive. Let me engage Mr. John. I want to know, I know you work with streaming sites such as Iozat and Fox. So how is Cage Gladiator Kenya going to, how are you going to link us to such streaming sites, Mr. John?
Well, Fox Sports comes to us from Cage Gladiators Philippines. So Fox Sports has always covered our Cage Gladiator Philippines events. So we have a close personal relationship through Lawrence Kenneth in the Philippines with Fox. So Fox is not, was never an issue for us. Iozat, I became introduced to the CEO of Iozat in 2018, early 2018, and I became very, very friendly with him. His name is Umesh Primera, and as I say, he's the CEO of Iozat. Iozat is a streaming company, quite like Netflix. The sort of like a video platform. They also, the CEO, they are also highly involved with Sky. So they handle Sky Sports, Sky Box Office, and all Sky channels as well here for Sky. So we have a direct link there through Umesh and myself. And through Umesh, then we have access to Sky TV. They are the distributors for Sky TV. They handle the satellites for Sky and for some other networks as well. So on that level here, through Iozat, we've been very blessed to have met Umesh, very helpful man, I have taken many calls from Umesh. I haven't taken a call as quite excited as he has about the fighters in Africa and Kenya. It's a really, really big thing. So through our progress in 2019 to now, we've created a partnership with Iozat that allows us to be able to take people, you know, take people from Africa and give them an international platform up, you know, until the real world. Through us, I believe here, every fighter should have recognition, you know, and on an international scale, not coming from the fighting world. I come from the outside. I try to make sense of what I'm involved in now. So I see the fighting, the tournaments, or championships that are already here. I can't make any sense of them, in the sense where I can't see who the world champion is, because I'm told who a world champion is. I don't know if he is the world champion. I don't know how many people that person has fought. So basically, we have been relying on the world or on the promoters telling us who the best fighters are. My perception is I want to find out who the best fighters are. We can only do that by engaging them and directly on the ground. That's going right back to grassroots. So by taking the fighters in Kenya and every other country, you know, maybe one, maybe two of them fighters will ever make it to an international level. on the current situation within the MMA through UFC, Bellator, whatever, are all very specific. So very few people will get a platform, ever get up to an international platform. What we do is give your brother, sister in Kenya an opportunity to be recognised with us, through us, you know, and everything is directed from us to give them an ability to just up the game and give them the respect that they deserve. We want to find the next world champion. We'll have to do that here by a new structure. So this is what where we are now.
Yeah, thank you so much. That is very impressive. But kindly, just tell me the distinction. I want to know the distinction between cage gladiators, because I also know you are the International Fighting Championship director. What's the distinction?
We are still very much in the construction end of things. So we haven't finished off our tournaments yet. But as I stated just there, was that we want to find the next world champion. We want to find that honestly and legitimately. So we come up with a plan to do so. So the International Fighting Championships to us, and the Cage Gladiators, if you look at it from, say, a World Cup football perspective, so International Fighting Championships will be, and Cage Gladiators tournament will be the World Cup. The International Fighting Championships will be the semi-finals, basically. It'll spread over a 3-year period, so it's not going to be like a one-off event every other year. It's going to be the Cage Gladiators tournament will be a 3-year tournament. We wish to fight every country. We want the national team in every country that represents us. We want them national teams to fight every national team in the world connected to us. We want to take their scorecards. We want to look at the professionalism. I don't want a fighter, a world champion fighter, because Kevin tells me he's a world champion fighter. I want to see that he has the scores, he has the margins, he has the ability to do so. So that's how we promote that. Cage Gladiators will be a qualifiers stroke the actual tournament itself. Once we dwindle down over 3 years, we dwindle down the fights, we will come up with due to scorecards, we will come up with a semi-final to be held in Ireland. So the International Fighting Championships is the crowning championship for the world professional fighter. To find the world professional fighter, they have to go through the Cage Gladiator tournament to get there. So this is something brand new, starting from point A to get to point B. We have 3 years to get through. So that's basically, in a nutshell, the difference is the International Fighting Champs will be the crown and glory of the next world champion in the world. That will only happen every 3 years in Ireland. IFC will only happen every 3 years in Ireland. So if Kenya in 3 years' time pass the qualifiers, then it'll be Kenya fighting in Ireland to either be crowned world champion or, you know.
That would be very nice.
It's
yeah, Mr. Kevin, and because just tell me. I know you've come to Kenya, obviously. What do you think about MMA talent in Kenya? And have you ever been maybe somewhere where people are engaging in fights here in Kenya?
At the present time, Florence, we haven't had the opportunity to travel due to the COVID situation. Prior to COVID, yeah, I've been in Kenya a few times. Fighting ways for the Kenyans, I reckon have really got a good chance. They've got as Ian says, the passion for it. They've got the ability for it. The background of trainers is immense. The dedication is unspeakable. And knowing the Kenyan people with the heart they've got, I reckon you're going to do very, very, very well. And I hope that God just do.
Well, Mr. Ian, what is in the pipeline? What are your plans? Maybe in the next 1 year when it comes to engaging Kenyan fighters?
So we're hoping to take them onto the world stage. Yeah. Basically show everybody what the Kenyans have, as Kevin and I have both said and John has said. They've got the heart and they've got the soul. So, you know, I'm in there big time. I'll go anywhere where the Kenyan fighters go or wherever they need to be. And as I say, wow, you know, from some of the videos I've seen and some of the fights that I have seen from the guys, you know, it's incredible. it is right up there. You know, it's top notch. And I mean, I've been in the game all my life, and I can spot good athletes. And these are, as John says, these guys, and you know yourself, are from ground roots, grassroots. These guys fight like there's no tomorrow. That's what I want. That's what I want to promote. That's what I want to push forward. Guys like these in Kenya, wow, my hat goes off to them. You know what I mean? I would certainly not get into the cage with anyone. Simple as that. Now, maybe 20 years ago, yes. I'm getting a bit elder here. So, yeah, you know, I will do everything my heart and soul, as will the boys as well, to just blow this out of the water, you know.
All right. I know we will be engaging on our side and your side. We'll work together going forward to just see how far we can push MMA, especially here in the country. But before I let you guys go, I would like Mr. Kevin to just give us your final words.
Well, that's what hasn't already been said. I'd like to say thank you for all to get involved within Cage Gladiators, Stephen and LFNE to promote and coming on board with us. And I wish every single one of you the very best in the future. And if anything we can do to help that, we will do so. And thank you very much.
All right. All right. Thank you, guys. Hopefully, we'll be having more and more of these interviews in coming days.
That's brilliant. Thank you very much.
Mr. Ian, Mr. John, and Mr. Kevin.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure.
All right. Bye-bye.
It has been amazing engaging with these three gentlemen all the way from Ireland, telling us their plans and what they hope to achieve by working with the mixed martial arts fighters here in the country. We hope to keep engaging and keeping you up to speed with what is happening with Cage Gladiators here in the country and also the mother company all the way in Ireland. Thank you for watching. I'll be seeing you around. Amazing stuff there, talking to Kevin, Ian, and Mr. John, Cage Gladiators directors, all the way from Ireland. We hope to keep on talking to them as we build up mixed martial arts in the country. Remember, KUTV on the Sport and Kenyatta University Television and Radio Services is your official MMA channel. For anything that you want locally, globally, we'll be bringing amazing fighters, world champions right here. So you need to keep watching KUTV on the Sport every Saturday 2 to 4. Right about now, I need to engage two of LFNE4 official commentators. I'm talking about Jason Sagini. He was there in LFNE2 and he will be commentating in LFNE4. Also joining us is Elisha Okech, an official LFNE4 commentator. Good afternoon, guys. Why am I happy to see you on set?
Good afternoon to you too. Happy to see you too.
Okech, happy to see you for the first time. Karibu sana to KUTV, and I'm glad that we'll be working together.
Asante, glad to be working with you too.
Tell us, I know you have AKAs and all that stuff. Ambia wahenga, wewe ni nani?
My name is Elisha Okech, but I'm best known as Eli Sketch. Those who know me by that name know why. And I'm a mixed martial arts fanatic turned commentator.
All right, turned commentators. What has been your engagement with MMA? Have you been commentating or what have you been doing?
Recently, I've been writing on MMA, also engaging on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, social media, turning the social posts into stories, following up on the Kenyan athletes and international athletes, and painting them in the best light.
All right, quite impressive. Jason.
Yes.
Unasema ndio askofu wa michezo.
Good to see you first of all.
Yes.
It's been a long while, 5 months now since I saw you last back in Kayole Hall 3 in the LFNE3, and now once again we are here next weekend in Meru. It's going to be exciting.
Yes.
Yeah.
How was LFNE2 and what is your expectation when you go to Meru?
2 was very, very exciting.
Yes.
Very fantastic. A lot of fights were being shown there, a lot of bouts, and more surprises I'm hoping to see in Meru, because in the LFNE3, I remember one thing, I was even telling Elisha in the waiting room there that you remember LFNE3,
William Odino knocking down somebody in the first 5 seconds. So maybe in the LFNE4, come next weekend in Meru, we're expecting something of the same kind. Who knows?
And I'm telling you, I've been hosting these fighters. They are itching, you know, and they have promised us, you know, KUTV has given us a lot of airtime for that particular day. But when I say they will be knocking people in the first round, and I know it's going to be amazing, and what Wameru will be awaiting. But what do you think about the growth of MMA in the country so far?
I think it's a good sport, and it's coming at a good pace, considering that people like Stephen Omwenga, the president of the LFNE, what he's doing on the ground and what he's doing in the local scene, it's building each and every character in the sport industry, making sure that even if you know that we are so many sportsmen, we have so many sportsmen in athletics and in football, there are so many, and some of them don't even get that capability and that opportunity to showcase their talent. Maybe they have some other talent in MMA or in any other sport. So it's just a matter of time that he's coming at the right time, and it's coming at the right time also to make sure that some of these youths in the local scene get to showcase their talent and even grow and get a wider perspective of it, and making sure that the government, at least, they are now seeing maybe MMA is one of the sports in Kenya which should be taken serious, and they should invest in it.
Yes, that's the whole point. That's the whole idea, and we're glad to be part of this explosion of MMA in the country. As you write about mixed martial arts in the country, what have been some of those maybe interesting articles that you've written about? One that maybe you are like, wow, this is amazing.
The most interesting article I wrote about must be about William Odino, the guy Sagini just mentioned. William Odino is the kind of challenger that it has been hard to find him an opponent. Now the story has been finding him an opponent. We tried to challenge Ugaliman from Odibets to try and find Odino an opponent, which did not materialize. But now we have an opponent for Odino, and we are looking forward to the fight. Sagini got lost in a few minutes of the commentary last time because as he was just introducing Odino,
he was just starting.
as he was just introducing Odino, he was telling me Odino had finished the fight. So if all the fighters do that, as you're saying, there's more stories for us to tell, and the most we tell their stories, the more they are out there, they get sponsorships, they get opportunities. So it's growth for them, growth for the industry, and growth for even the LFNE and any promotion in the country. As we speak today, there's 2 fighters who are fighting at EFC, 2 Kenyan fighters fighting at EFC, which is an international franchise. So the more we tell their stories, the better their stories get.
We are heading in the right direction.
We are heading in the right direction, Flo.
You know, for us, as I want to call you fellow, I don't want to say scribes, but sports journalists. For us, having these stories, and you know, we write about problems all the time. Oh, I don't know who has been stranded where. I know Gor Mahia won a ticket. You know, those have been the stories that we have been telling. But having this platform, and having been around, for me, I've been around doing sports for like, I'm going for my 13th year. And there's some sort of excitement when I see a platform for our sportsmen and women. What do you think about this recent platform, and how far do you think LFNE is going to take our fighters?
So LFNE, as the current platform, is opening up the country for fighters in all parts of the country to come and participate. So now it is no longer a matter of being in the capital city or being well connected to some people. It is a matter of showcasing what you can do, maybe on social media, then getting close to LFNE, which is easy to do. It's easy to reach them on Twitter and any other platform, and then get an opportunity first to participate in an exhibition, then in a real fight. And as you've said, once these fighters get the one fight, they have a real itch to keep fighting and fighting. Sagini will tell you how much all of them are excited to hear what we will be saying about them as they fight. So that is why I think the direction is great. I think there will be massive growth, and I even anticipate other entrepreneurs will start their own franchises in the country to try and keep up with LFNE. Keyword try. and which is a good thing.
Right. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, it's good for our fighters. And well, Sagini, what are your thoughts on this new platform that is actually well organized? Because I was talking to some guys and I felt so sad that they were saying you actually register to fight, and then you go fight. Maybe you registered with 1,000 bob. Okay. When you win, you're given 1,000 bob. So you went, paid, and you win, you're given back your money. Basically, there was no value. They have the talent, but nothing to show for. They could not use any of these sporting disciplines as a career, kama kitu ya kujikimu kimaisha. But this, there's a change, and perhaps they'll be getting better deals. What do you think of this current platform, knowing what has been happening out there?
I think when someone comes into such a platform and looks at the benefit in the first stages, in the initial stages, this person is lost, because you can ask yourself, or rather that person can ask him or herself, if I was at my home and I play this game alone, who will watch me? There is no one. Who will you fight with? No one will come to fight with you. But since the platform is there, you are given challenges, you are given something at least to hold on to. You know that at least it's giving me that exposure that I need, because when you are alone at home, you didn't have that exposure. Now, this platform, what is majorly is giving you is just an exposure to build yourself and also announce your name outside there, because who knows, people are watching. It's something that is also online. We have online broadcasting, we have television broadcasting. You never know who is watching. And looking at some of the African greats who are fighting in the UFC, the likes of Kamaru Usman, they started from somewhere.
Yes.
So if you look at the initial benefits, then there's no you'll be heading to, unless you look at it from the perspective of it's an exposure that I'm being helped with. Don't look at the money that you're coming in to put in for the registration and the amount that you're taking out after the fights. And talking about the exposure and everything else, I think every fighters need to take that as an advantage, because even the comedy industry, I can tell you for free, you can take the likes of Churchill. They gave the comedians a platform to start with, but after they got in there, what they are now benefiting from is online businesses. They're getting something called the partnerships. They're getting advertisements on the social media platforms. Those are now the benefits that the fighters should look for, and look for also to transform themselves into professional and international fighters, not just getting the profit, the 1,000 bob or 2,000 bob, because you can get that 5,000 bob, yes, but tomorrow, where will you be?
Tomorrow?
If I may add on that, most of the time, talking to these fighters, they've been telling me that LFNE has provided them a new opportunity, in terms of some have been training for years without getting a single fight. Now they're even getting remuneration to practice, to go to practice at Leona Fitness Center. So LFNE pays for their practice, pays for their workouts, pays for their coaching and such. So as much as they might have some financial challenges, and in the past they might have been paid peanuts, LFNE is providing an opportunity for them to get better pay and to train and participate in a better environment. So I agree with Sagini. They shouldn't first look at how much they'll get paid. They should first look at how big an opportunity will be available in the future if they start participating in LFNE.
Quite impressive, and hopefully we will be able to build an all-round fighter, someone who understands different aspects of the sport. Give us your final words before, Sagini, you read our comments on our live stream, and give us your final words as well.
My final thoughts would be LFNE 4 is happening in Meru on July 10 at Mudara Primary School. Jasper Murume will be there, Sagini will be there, Flo will be there, and I will be there alongside many great fighters. Come and see the next Israel Adesanyas, the next Kamaru Usmans, and the next Francis Ngannous as they come up from the grassroots. You guys are very welcome.
All right. Sagini.
Let me just start by reading the comments before telling you my final words. I can see Kevin Boyd is saying, thank you, Stephen, from all at Cage Gladiators Ireland, and my lovely wife, Anne Wamboy, Ibabu, we are watching. Stephen Omenga is also commenting on the live stream. He's saying a good interview there. And Carlos Calvins Makouma is saying, Jay White versus Boyka 2, he fight itakuwa moto sana. I think a clash of the movies, right?
Vistas.
Yes. Carlos Calvins is saying, a great show there. I like how you guys are analyzing the show, and we are expecting a tough fight come next weekend. Yes.
Your final words.
I can say he just mentioned that you will be there, he'll be there, I'll be there. So I can just add another word to that. Why can't you be there? Come next weekend on 10th in Meru County at Mudhara Primary School. It's going to be a tough encounter, and I expect a lot, knowing that the fighters, they know what they are heading to, what they are fighting for. The likes of the defending champions, Mohamed War in the men's category, and the women's category, the likes of Felicitas Mugo. They are going to know that they are coming to defend their titles. And also, William Odino knows that he knocked someone in the LFNE3. So definitely, he's also looking for another knockout in the LFNE4. So from me, I expect a tough encounter and also a very, very great LFNE4.
All right. Those are the official commentators for LFNE4 all the way in Meru County. Next weekend on Saturday, we will be live on location. And, well, easy siku zikimbie. I want these days to, you know, yeah, I want it to be tomorrow. But the fighters are ready. KUTV is ready. Steve Omwenga and LFNE4, the team is ready. And we just cannot wait for this that particular day. Also, Kevin Boyd and your wife, thank you so much. I know you guys are watching, and all guys from Cage Gladiators, as well as Mr. Jordan. We are taking a very short break. When we come back, the president will be joining me shortly to just wrap up and tell us how prepared they are for the 10th of July 2021.
Ama kweli muomba chumvi huombea chunguche, nao wasemao husema nituze na unitunze ningali hai. Ulianza kama uvumi, uvumi ukawa minong'ono, minong'ono ikawa gumzo, na sasa sio uvumi tena, ni udhami. Mawimbi ya lugha na spotlight, tuna koroma bila koma, katika ushirikiano kama Kiko na Digali, kukutuza na kukutunza.
Naam, nalo shirika la uchapishaji almaarufu Spotlight lina tuzo tele kwako wewe mtazamaji wa kipindi cha Mawimbi ya Lugha. Tazama, shiriki, na ukishinda tutakutumia tuzo uliko.
Kila Jumapili saa 2 usiku, wanajopo Faridi na Fasaha watadadavua na kujibu maswali.
Wasomi ni nyinyi, wataalamu ni nyinyi, sisi tunawaelekeza.
Kumbuka, safari ni hatua, tena kikoa, nalo jungu kuu halikosi ukoko.
Karibu sana katika awamu ambao ni ya maonyesho. Yaani tutakuwa tunakuonyesha mambo 1, 2, 3.
Waswahili tuko na michezo mingi sana, hata nataka kukwambia tu michezo mingi yenye mmetoa kule bara, mingi imetoka huku kwetu pwani, halafu mkaitohoa, mkaiweka kwa njia nyingine.
Stream live mitindo ya kipwani on our KUTV Facebook page every Saturday 4 p.m.
This week, we are doing the local themed cuisine. For flavor, you just add some salt.
They don't know what they're even looking for.
Dimash.
Ask them, they don't know what they're even looking for. And I'm not ashamed, oh, oh. I'm not ashamed, oh, 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 oh. I'm not ashamed, oh, no. I'm not ashamed, oh, 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 oh.
Niaje wase, Hii ni Church O'Clock Show manzi, na hapa kuna kitu inaitwa Gospel Art Segment. Hii ni segment yenye manzi tunapatana na wasee wanafanya art zao, wasanii, photographers, producers, DJs. Kama wewe ni dancer, we bring you here manzi, we show the world what you're doing and how you're using your art to reach the hearts out there.
Worship the Lord with gladness and come before him with joyful songs. That's exactly what we do right here on the Church O'Clock Show. Becky Esther here with my co-host Twinny Esther. Becky, we are not ashamed of the gospel of Jesus Christ, proclaiming him and making him known through Bible expositions, topical discussions, and of course your life questions answered right here on the Church O'Clock Show Word segment.
Yes, na tuko ndani ya Church O'Clock Show every Sunday 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. only on KUTV.
Reggae mtaani na mashinani, it's all about good reggae music. You tune in to KUTV. Everything set, link and connect. You know how we do it. Good vibration, good music alongside.
Let's recall some great men.
Call me the messenger, aka the lyrical DJ Sweet K. I'm gonna bring you the message straight from the artist to your comfort zone. Always stay tuned to KUTV Radio Iration.
All right, welcome back to KUTV on the Sport. It's about that time that you get to talk to LFNE President, Mr. Stephen Omwenga, who has just joined me on set to tell us how ready LFNE is for LFNE4. Good afternoon, sir, and welcome.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Florence.
Yes, you're doing an amazing job. I am very happy. Thank you for allowing me to talk to such amazing gentlemen, cage gladiators, as well as Mr. Jordan. But how ready are we for LFNE4 in Meru?
Thanks for that. Actually, it's been quite a busy session ever since we did with LFNE2. You know, it was quite successful, and because of that, the events that followed after that particular day, it was so awesome to get some calls from other media houses. And through the interview that we did in the other media houses, we were able to get recognized out there. And of course, from the traction it's creating in the country and the international and the world of MMA, it's been a great thing. So what I can say is the preparations for LFNE4 have been quite smooth, and the fighters are ready. And you've seen from the interview you've been holding over here the past few weeks, the fighters are really vying for each other's blood. They want to really showcase what they got. This is a platform that they never had, and now they have it. And definitely they're not taking it lightly. The guys have been training crazy. I'm sure if you happen to have passed by the gym, you could see the sweating, all that, the activities. Yes, everything is well underway and properly planned. Yes.
On your end, let's talk about your partnership with Mr. Jordan and also with Cage Gladiators. What does that bring on the table for LFNE, and what does it mean for our local fighters?
Well, to speak, the main objective for LFNE coming into the local scene was actually centered on the fighters, and to ensure that we give them a platform to showcase these fighters. We were not only intending to showcase them locally, we wanted to showcase them to the world. We want the world to see these fighters. And coming from that perspective, I went down and started doing my groundwork. And first off, what happened is I started just doing random emails to some of the guys that I know. And one of the emails that I sent was to United Fight Alliance innocently. I didn't really intend, So what happened after a short while, a gentleman called me. He introduced himself. I was quite excited. Then we spoke for almost an hour or two on phone, because he introduced himself as Jordan J. Adams, and he was so happy. He had watched some of the clips from LFNE2. Then we started engaging. So through the engagement, Jordan was excited that we were doing a good job in terms of being African, and the fact that at the moment Africans, we have 3 African champs at the UFC. They were very excited, and UFC are planning maybe a trip to Africa, maybe around 2022, so to say. So we want to position ourselves strategically, and some of these partners like Jordan J. Adams are the guys who can give our fighters a good platform. He has a huge network in America, and he will definitely link us to some of the good promoters. He has promised to give our fighters a chance to showcase their talent at the Titan FC, Bellator, and probably take them round to the UFC academies. They are going to see the real fighters at the UFC, how they train, the regime and everything. And he's very excited, and he's given us a platform. He's already given us invitation, and he's done all that. So it's now that the fighters, they need to be ready for this world stage. So Jordan has been very key, and he's a gentleman. Whenever you call, we discuss a lot, and he's excited. He wants to come to the country. He wants to come and visit our beautiful Kenya. That's how he calls it, because he likes it. He wants to come to Africa so that he can also take some photos and all that, go share with the Americans to come, and that will boost our tourism sector. Yes.
Quite impressive. We were hoping that maybe LFNE4 they would come, but we have a lot of competitions lined up. This is not the last one. It has definitely not been the first one. And in future, we would wish to engage with such international people. But let's talk about IOSAT. Let's talk about Fox. That's a platform where LFNE4 might be broadcasted. How have you tightened up that partnership?
Yeah, now, actually, there was a plan for Jordan to come and commentate in our next event, but due to travel restrictions from here and there, he will not be able to come on this LFNE4, but in future he will be able to come. Now, then our other main partners who have come on board from the international scene are Cage Gladiators. And Cage Gladiators came through a connection, a local connection. We have the global logistics manager called Kevin Boyd. He's actually married to a Kenyan. She's called Anne Wamboi Ibabu. She's a very nice lady, and she's the one who did the groundwork, the digging. So after LFNE2, there's an interview that I held at KTN. That's how she was able to dig it and saw the person. Then our task was, now she was questioning, how do I get contact for this gentleman? But social media, Facebook and all that. Then when she got my number, she shared the number to Cage Gladiators director called Ian Dixon. And Ian called me. At first, if Ian can tell you, I was a bit reluctant to talk much, because I remember telling him, hey, you guys, why can't you go through the government? Like, he was laughing.
You're a bit skeptical.
Yes. But after that, we held that conversation. We kept engaging and all that. And of course, now I gained confidence when the contacts, and when I noticed, these are real guys and Cage Gladiators. I searched them, I looked for them. And of course, it was like, no, you guys, I wanted the gentleman on the ground. I want the guy who is making things move. I'm like, okay, so you believe I'm the guy? Yes, you're the guy. And that's how we brought Cage Gladiators on board. So first off, we started because we are having this event in Meru, and Cage Gladiators already have in about 20 to 30 countries, and it is a big privilege for Kenya to actually be one of the people that will bring these Cage Gladiators locally. So we've already signed agreements. We've already signed an agreement with Cage Gladiators, and we now have Cage Gladiators Kenya. So LFNE, Cage Gladiators Kenya, and the relationship between IFC, so that is the CEO, John Patrick Clark. They are very good individuals. So we've been communicating each and every day. Then on the live coverage on PPV IOSAT, yes, the contract we've already finalized and everything is on course. So we've done an agreement between ourselves, LFNE and International Fighting Championship. We've already penned the agreement. The IOSAT are going to pick the feed live, so it's going to be on PPV on that particular day. And what does that mean? It means that our fighters are not only being seen in Kenya, they are being seen world over, including that will be in Ireland, UK, and all. They are very excited, and we can't wait for the day. Yeah.
Neither can we. So, from friend to friend, having talked to your fighters, you know, I can tell you for free that a lot of fighters currently are looking up to you. They are very optimistic. Are you ready for that?
Well, I'm telling you, it's those are big shoes for me to fit in.
Yes.
But I think I'm up to task. Why do I say so? If I can give a brief history of about myself. I actually started training martial arts in the year 2002, immediately after my high school. I went to Mombasa. I was training somewhere in Mtongwe. Just basically some of the events, even we used to hold tournaments for taekwondo, and we used to face off with the Kenya Navy guys. So I had quite a number of friends back then. But then, frankly speaking, I did not have the platform to really showcase my talent. I did all my taekwondo purely for self-defense, maybe a tournament here and there, one or two, which was mainly not guaranteed because we never used to get paid. And it is a passion that I've had for over the years. Now, fast forward to currently what inspired me to really get into mixed martial arts. I'm a strong fan of UFC. I watch these fights. I watch them. I like everything, the aggression. I like combat sport. I like the action. Like, you know, I'm action oriented. I've been watching wrestling for many years. So I thought about it, and I'm like, Africa, we are actually having champions at the UFC. But where are these guys coming from? West Africa. They can pride themselves. I've had debates online with West Africans. They say Kenyans, we stick to athletics. They are good, they're huge and massive. We leave combat sport alone. We are not able. But that is just a mere talk. If you watched LFNE too, you've practically seen what we can do. You've seen what the Hammer did. You've seen what Moha did. You've seen what Wafula can do. All these are our good fighters. And now we have even more serious fighters. We have fighters from Meru. They say Meru, they are Hasira in Swahili. But now this one does not require Hasira. No. This is purely discipline, and guys are willing to come on board. And of course, with guidance from now international partners, Cage Gladiators, with their connections from Jordan, the likes, and those people. Maybe very soon we'll be meeting the president of UFC himself. And my plan is that I showcase, I expose these fighters as much as possible. And of course, I'm looking for partnerships, people of goodwill, people who have the same objective to grow the talent of these young guys. Those are the guys I'm going to knock their doors. And when you ask that, am I ready for it? Yes, I'm ready for the challenge. I'm really willing to put my head out there to make sure that LFNE grows, the fighters grow. We want to be talking like a year down the line. I want to see 1 or 2, 3 fighters having their own apartments and everything from their talent.
Yes, we can't wait for that. Parting shot and tell us tickets. Watu wa Meru wanataka kwenda Mudhara, where do they get the tickets briefly?
What we are doing is, if you can check our social media on Facebook and all that, you'll see our tickets are there. You can call the number. The tickets are ready. The tickets are on sale. And we have our Eastern Region Coordinator, Mr. Mugambi, who is also in Meru. If you're in Meru, you can contact him through Mthara School of Mixed Martial Arts. Then that way you'll get all your tickets. But if you're not able to secure through that way, come to that day. The tickets will be at the gate. We'll be having good order. We'll be having the security. Arrangements have been done. Everything is underway. So you can get your ticket as you walk in. You can also secure your merchandise early if you need to order. We have our pay bill number, which is 4045-269, and account is what you're ordering. If you want a t-shirt, you send the amount for the t-shirt to 4045-269 and the account put t-shirt. And of course, besides the merchandise is purely to make sure that we are sustaining, we are getting what to pay. As you heard earlier, yes, we pay these fighters training allowances, we do that. And how do we get that revenue? Of course, we want as many Kenyans, as many fans to adapt some of these fighters. And we want guys to come to Meru and watch. But if you are not able to roll down to Meru, KUTV has a solution. Stay tuned, it will be live on KUTV. And of course, if you're not in Kenya, you want to view it on pay-per-view, IOSAT will be streaming it live.
Quite
so
impressive.
Good. Yeah.
All right. That is the president of LFNE local fight night entertainment. Yes. Quite impressive. We cannot wait. 10th of July 2021, in short, next Saturday. We will be live on location. KUTV will be beaming live the LFNE 4. The fighters are ready, commentators are ready, our international partners are also ready. And right here at KUTV, our technical team has been working day and night to ensure that that day is going to be swift, so smooth. You are going to be watching live action like never before. My name is Florence Ndongo. Tuonane next Saturday, but we'll be coming live from Meru as LFNE 4 will be taking center stage. Thank you so much to Cage Gladiators. Thank you so much to Jordan J. Adams for giving us amazing insights on mixed martial arts. Until next Saturday, good afternoon.